on my computer, hence me walking up here like a dork. Go ahead, yeah. All right. Okay, is this on? Yeah, all right. It's kind of a story, kind of a rant. I'm gonna see how it goes.
We love you.
I'm 10. I've never had a dog. Like most boys, I've always wanted one. My parents resisted, longer than most to their credit, but the foundations of their resolve were clearly cracking. Exploration of the local animal shelter's social media was the first giveaway my sisters and I had finally turned the tide. Outright concessions that the door was open for adoption soon followed. A myriad of possibilities racked my sugar-enhanced brain. What would be its name, its breed? The only thing I was certain of was that I was fulfilling a childhood staple. Oh, come on, Wi-Fi thing.
Woo!
The only thing I was certain of is that I would be fulfilling a childhood staple. Even at this age, I planned to live life by the book. Charlie Brown and his dog. That's what I wanted. And how right I was. My parents announced their decision. Our rescue animal would be a beagle. The staples of childhood were being fulfilled more literally than I could ever imagine. I pictured red dog houses, dog bowls with a name etched onto the side, races in the grass and rolling around. Maybe if I was lucky enough, he'd even jump into bed with me some nights.
Ooh. It's a dog.
I thought nothing of the accompanying fur tangled up in God knows where. This would be my dog. I hadn't even met it, and I'd do anything for it. That's how the bond was supposed to work, after all. My mom halts this fantasy with a slight increase of trepidation in her voice. She explains that this dog had quite a rough time in the years before knowing us. He was found, ironically, on the street where our old house resides, with little to no fur and half a degree within freezing to death. She shows my two little sisters and I a picture. He's no dog. He looks more like a pig. His tail is a rat's. Odd clumps of fur patches are spread intermittently along his backside. His smile is crooked. A massive underbite blocks the sharper denizens of his mouth. My mom explains he smells. His appearance and odor a byproduct of mange and a host of other illnesses that genetics and life on the street have presumably embedded him with. We get him anyways. We run in a field. He does reek of an unidentifiable smell, but he's sweet. And though flakes of his skin come off of my hands every time I attempt to pet him, I'm satisfied with the embers that remain of my fantasies. I'm 11. I've been away from home for 3.5 months. My return has been filled with an odd feeling of wonder as I recognize places I used to see every day. Routine begets a dullness of the senses that never goes away, no matter how many times the sensation repeats itself. We're on our street, home at last. We pull up to the door, I enter. I've fortunately been able to see my mother recently. Though she's not let it on, I've clearly put on a significant amount of weight. So much so that my request for a cup of Ovaltine is met with a half-second delay. I leave the kitchen and enter the living room. Sammy's sitting there. Perhaps it's his underbite, his posture, the way he looks up at me and wide-eyed wonder. Does he recognize me? I have no way of knowing. I believe that he does out of my own necessities. Yet again, he takes on this ethereal symbolic significance, that of the life I missed while away, the endeavors, the games and hardships of my friends and family whose lives remained stationary in small towns situated. I break down into tears and shield my arms around him. He licks his lips. I'm 14. I've been invited to a 4th of July party, the host a friend of my then-girlfriend. I'm nervous, bubbling with excited energy. The irrational pangs of pure feeling brought about by young love cloud my mind with frenzied focus. My father asked me to take Sam out. A mere 10 minutes before my planned departure, I roll my eyes. Someone else can do it. After all, he probably doesn't even have to go. I take him out for all but 30 seconds. Nothing. Before tugging him back in, the poor little guy dragging along just as a failed stand-up comedian grasps at the hook around his neck. 5 minutes pass. A groan from my father echoes throughout the ground floor. I know what's happened. I don't need to see it or smell it. It's my fault, but I won't admit it. My father says we're leaving later now, that my haste cost me time. I'm livid he's articulated what I already knew to be true. He demands I take Sam out again, and properly this time. I fail to see the logic. After all, he did go, and we were still outside nonetheless. Still enraged, I do what most irresponsible people do, and take my anger out on the smallest sentient thing in close proximity. I scream in his face. I call him stupid, worthless, a pain to me and the rest of the family. I drag him back in, slam the door, and sit in the car. Hours pass. I'm in bed. The party was fine. I'm just trying to sleep. I hear the door open, and I expect my father, likely asking me questions about the event. Except it's not him. It's Sam. He walks up to the edge of my bed and lays down. He goes to sleep. He has never done that before. He continues to do this until I leave for college. I'm 16. I've just chewed up a Cumberland Farms brownie. Its remains lie in the sink below me. Few driplets tap on the floor. Sam enters. I feel his eyes on me. Judging? No. Maybe. In those eyes I saw what I wanted rather than the simple love that lay behind them. I treat him as an intruder to my secret ritual. I did not bend down to pet him. For what feels like an eternity, he stands there staring. Frozen pizza, chocolate powder, turned to milk and paste, bread and butter, cookies, meatballs, pasta. He watches my madness, my fury, my obsession. All will be gone before the process of digestion has a fighting chance to fulfill its duty. His eyes, alongside the rest of his body, sag as he runs back to his current resting place. Maybe there's sadness in his movements. Maybe he registers the pain behind all this waste. I turn on the faucet and wash away the evidence. I think nothing of it. He's seen me on better days too. I'm 18. Sam is deteriorating. His habits of going to the bathroom in the house, partially due to his illness, partially due to busyness and neglect on my sister's and I's part, have gotten exponentially worse. My father's worried for his health. He lets this out by announcing his frustration with his waste nearly any given opportunity. I fail to recognize this as his way of coping and instead admonish him for ceaseless whining about an animal who can't really control his own behavior. We go back and forth. I try numerous solutions. Hours, days, weeks, years of this exact argument consume my thoughts. My father keeps ranting. My mind becomes a prison. The vices keep getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It's too much for us. The medicine, the pain, the expenses. We can't keep going on this way forever. Tighter, tighter, tighter. I just don't know what to do. There's no other way. It's just become too much. I can't do it. I cannot. We've been doing this for how long now? Let's just kill him. Do something about it, for Christ's sake. Just stop complaining. My father stares at me. Eyes wide. Rightfully so. I realize the 14-year-old in me hasn't vanished just yet. Now I'm 20, and we've killed him. I saw the light fade from his eyes. The only proof of a soul's existence I've seen thus far lies in the dissipation of his consciousness directly before me. It's the stillness that disturbs me the most. Even in age, the hints of a happy puppy flashed here and there. Not so, not now. And I am left not with the sag in the chest of having lost a close friend, but the shame of not having been there in the way he had been there for me. This might feel like a waste of time for some of you who've listened to this all the way to the end, that my initial response to his death functions more as a narrative about me in relation to him disgusts me. Yet it's utterly befitting, if not the only way to approach it. I think that's why I wrote this, through my idiocy and my hardships, my ups and downs, my days of muffled interests and weeks, years of neglect towards him. He never stopped loving me. He stayed by my bed. That's what a good dog is. And when one day I get one for my kids, I will know what it means to have had one.